Hey, we're back. I promised we would come back and show you our one meal for fast day, which sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it? But on our fast days, we do a 500 calorie meal. We got some feedback from a friend who saw our breakfast video yesterday, and she said, we can't see anything, we can't see what you're doing. So we put the computer down a little further so maybe you can kind of see it. So we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to eat. I'm going to have a sweet potato that I'm going to bake in the or cook in the microwave, and then I'm going to put some avocado with it and probably some seasoning. And what are you going to have, Russ?
Okay, so I'm going to have quinoa, which is in here. Which
I made a couple of days ago when we stuck in the fridge.
Right. I'm going to have some ratatouille, which Robin made.
Last weekend.
You want to tell them everything that's in the ratatouille?
Oh, yeah. So what's in the ratatouille? Let's see. It has eggplant, onions, zucchini, peppers, garlic, peas, chickpeas, and herbs, various and sundry herbs from our garden.
Right, and so either it's from our garden or it's organic, which is really nice. And because I'm a glutton for punishment, I'm going to be having this as well, and this is also from our garden. These are red jalapeno peppers that will definitely let you know you're alive. So those will be going on mine as well.
I don't eat those. I just make the brine stuff that we save them in because, you know, they scare me. So I'm stabbing my sweet potato here, and I'm going to stick it in the microwave. I have no idea. Look, so this is how big it is. Let me bring it over here so you guys can see a little bit. This is how big it is. A pretty big one. I looked online, and it said that sweet potatoes are about 115 calories per cup. So I'm guessing that this is around a cup and a half or so of sweet potato. So that's fine. And then the half of avocado, again, it's 120 calories?
Yeah, I think it's 120.
Half of an avocado. It's got quite a bit of calories in it, but it's good fat, so I add that.
Right.
So I'm going to cook this.
And I'm using about a cup of quinoa, which I believe has 210 or 220 calories, and that will be the bulk of my calories for my meal. Because the ratatouille, although it's going to be bulky, the chickpeas have the biggest amount of calories, but then all the vegetables put together really doesn't amount to that much. So my meal will probably be 500 calories. It may be a little bit less. It may be a little bit more.
So yeah, that'll be what it'll be. I actually, I did a silly thing today. So today we're fasting, right? Obviously, it's fast day. So we didn't eat breakfast. And then earlier today, I had some time between some clients. And so I decided, because we're having dinner, we're having friends over for dinner tomorrow, and I needed to cook onions and peppers and garlic and stuff for the chili/taco soup. I call it taco soup. Russ calls it chili. It's a disagreement between us. We don't fight about it, though. It's okay. But I wanted to cook the onions and peppers and garlic today. So poor Russ, he comes home from a client meeting this afternoon, and the whole house smells like food because I've been cooking. So that's not very friendly, it turns out.
No,
to cook when you
it smelled really good.
When you're fasting, having the house smell like food is not very nice. But so this morning we didn't do a good job of saying why we fast. Can you talk about that some?
Well, you probably do a better job of that than I will, but I'll give it a stab. So, all right. The idea behind fasting is to get to a state in your body where you're not using insulin, or your body's not in an insulin state. And so when we watch the Live Fast and Live Longer documentary,
Eat Fast, Live Longer.
Right, they talked about that, and they talked about there's basically, I guess, 3 or is it 4 different stages of fasting you can get into. The minimum being 12 hours where you don't eat any food, so your body digests and processes everything that you have in your system. I think it's 12, 18, and 24.
And then 36.
And then 36.
And then longer than 36, which we have never done.
Which is just crazy, yes. So we chose the what amounts to be around 24 hours on one end and around 18 on the other. So, like the last meal we ate yesterday was for dinner.
Well, neither one of us did a good job of eating dinner last night.
No, I did eat.
We were out.
I did eat around 8 o'clock last night. When we
did you?
Back.
Yeah,
yes.
I didn't.
So I am now eating.
I failed.
Now, so since 8 o'clock last night, this is my next meal, and then again, I won't be eating again until tomorrow, approximately around 9 o'clock for breakfast.
And what's your purpose? Like, why does insulin matter?
Well, you do a better job.
Okay, I'll talk about the insulin. So I said a little bit this morning when we talked about it being a fast day. Be careful about stirring that; it's really loud on there. When we talked about it being a fasting day, having your body in a constant state of insulin, which happens if you eat consistently over a course of time, all day, your body stays insulin. It puts your body in go mode. So you're in growth mode, you're in take care of stuff mode, like do. And when it doesn't do, then is go into repair mode. And that's what's supposed to happen at night. But in the American culture, we eat so late at night and then we eat again as soon as we get up. Our bodies don't get enough time to repair. And so you don't get rid of those random little cancer cells, because cancer cells is something we all have all the time. Usually our bodies just manage them.
Right.
And if your body doesn't manage them, then that's when they become a tumor. And so when you reduce the insulin, your body has a chance to take a break and not be in go mode anymore. And it can start repairing things and repairing cells and determining, oh, this cell isn't a good one. We need to get rid of it and to kill those bad cells off. So it's supposed to be super healthy for you. And the science I read, I definitely felt like, yep, I think that that's correct for us, which is why we started fasting. Also, obviously, it does help with weight loss if that's your goal.
Right.
It does contribute to that as well. On Friday mornings, I always wake up the lightest I will be all week because, the weekends, obviously, I'm not as good about eating really well as I could be. So my Monday fast, sorry, that's noisy. My Monday fast doesn't do as good a job of cleaning everything out and slowing everything down as my Thursday fasts usually do.
Right. And one thing I will say is things that I've noticed first are those little aches or those little, like, your elbow hurts or something's a little sore. Those seem to be less. And I attribute it to the fact that we're fasting because I make up, I don't know if it's true, that my body is now healing those little tiny nagging things quicker so they don't bother me.
And last week you went to see your doctor, got your blood work done, and we
I
talked
did.
about that before, that we both lowered our cholesterol with the fasting and the plant-based diet. But what is your doctor's, like, he seemed like you were like a great guinea pig. He wanted to have a whole conversation with you about it.
Well, yeah, it started off with, instead of doing the normal blood work, he decided to do extended blood work so we can get all these crazy numbers. And to my enjoyment, all my numbers turned out to be really great, which is terrific. So I am having a follow-up meeting with him because he basically just wants to review all the numbers and, find out what's going on, what's changing. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be. But yeah, overall, just tremendous. Your normal blood work, which is maybe a page and a half long, mine's like 4 pages for all the different things that
we had to look some of it
test.
up because we're like, what are these things testing?
Yeah.
And I guess another thing that's interesting, somebody asked, how old are you guys? So that's relevant. Russ is 56. He's on 0 medications, none, 0, nada, which is phenomenal. And I'm 45, and the only thing I'm on is my thyroid medicine because, as I mentioned, I think yesterday, I was diagnosed with a hypothyroid condition when I was 19. And I'm a very strange case in that I don't have any symptoms, none. I don't gain weight, I'm not cold, I'm not any of the normal symptoms, I don't have them. So doctors are really perplexed about that, but still they're incessant that I need to be on medication because otherwise my numbers look like I should be in a coma. And even though I say I'm not in a coma, they seem to think I still need to be. So, all right, fine, then I am.
And the interesting thing for me is I was curious, like, how many people my age take some kind of prescription medication? And the number is like 80%, which is phenomenal. I'm sure the pharmaceutical companies are loving it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of a eye-awakening moment for me when I looked at those numbers. I'm like, wow. So,
Yeah.
nothing more than vitamins. I do take a multivitamin, but that's about the extent of anything I take that's not food.
Yeah.
So
yeah, today for our fast, we're going to reiterate here real quick. I'm having a sweet potato with avocado on it, which is all cut up here and waiting for my potato to get done. And Russ is having ratatouille with quinoa, roughly about 500 calories in our meal for the day. So this will be the only thing we eat all day, and then we'll go to the gym tomorrow. What do you have in the gym tomorrow?
tomorrow is chest and shoulders.
Okay, and I'll be doing chest and probably some cardio tomorrow. So we'll do that. Do you want to talk a little bit about how it is to do your workout after a fast day?
So that's interesting. So when we first started fasting, the first time we started fasting, it was fine. I didn't feel anything. Once we started doing it over a couple of weeks, the day after my fast that I know I get to eat I was not lethargic, but I didn't have the strength or I guess the stamina maybe that I had when I was eating. However, now we're like what, 2 months, 3 months into it.
Yeah, about 2.5, 3 months in. Yeah.
It's no different. I don't feel any worse than I do on the days that I eat, the days that I fast. And what we've seen in the documentaries and what Robin has read is that that's the case. Is it takes a certain amount of time for your body to get used to it, and then once it does, then you will never know it. Your body will just function because it's gotten used to it, and you'll have the energy levels that you would have on a normal day.
And I talked about that a little bit this morning, that you have to teach your body to burn fat. How long do you want this in here for?
2 minutes to start, babe.
Okay. Let me cancel this and put 2 minutes. Sorry, you have to teach your body to burn fat because your body gets lazy and it just says feed me, and then we feed it and it doesn't burn the fat. So that takes time. And in the documentaries they say 5 weeks. I think for us it was longer than that.
Yeah,
I felt like it was longer than that, but it did get better. I do think that there's a psychological piece to working out after a fast day, because I do feel like I'm a little grumpier and like, oh, I can't do this as well. But I think that may be the placebo effect of having fasted. So we'll be back tomorrow morning for breakfast. We'll show you, and I'm guessing Russ will have oatmeal. I'll probably have a smoothie, but we'll be back tomorrow morning. 9-ish is usually when we get back from the gym. So we'll have that conversation with you. I cannot promise you that we'll do this on weekends. We'll see what the weekend looks like. We do eat pretty similarly on weekends. Tomorrow night is going to be an exception because we are having friends over for dinner. Right. So I'm going to make vegetarian taco soup / chili. Right. And we bought cheese, which we never do. We don't ever have cheese in the house. I'm super excited about that. And our friend is bringing some wine. So that tomorrow night is going to be a fun night for us. Right. And so we'll let you know. We might pop on at some point over the weekend, but I won't make you sit here and watch me cook cut up my potato. I'm just going to put the avocado on it, and then I'll pick some seasoning. I really like the lemon pepper seasoning. It does have some salt and some sugar in it, so that is something to be aware of when you eat it. And we'll see. I've never done avocado and sweet potato, so it might be horrible. And if it is, that's very hot actually. I'll let you know if it's horrible or not, or if it's actually an edible 500 calories for a fast day. If you guys have questions, let us know. Oh, somebody commented, I can't read it from over here. She says she likes hearing the two of us together. Oh, kisses.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining in. I appreciate it. And we'll definitely be back tomorrow morning. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, disagreements, any of that fun stuff, PM me or him or whatever. And
leave a comment.
Yeah.
We'll see it. We have an answer for you. We will respond.
We love chatting with you. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Have a good night.